Still not used to this new streaming software. But hello, everyone. I see Jake in the chat. Anthony, Motivation Niche. How you been, buddy? I haven't seen you for a while, man. I haven't seen you for a while. Ted, what's up, man? How are you doing, though, Casey? It has been a long time, man. Callie treating you well? I think the last time I saw anything about you was when you posted the pic of your car, the license plate. It's like, whoo! But Ted said, why do people say Happy Monday? My mic might be a little loud. Let me fix that. Why do people say Happy Monday? It's because AMA days, buddy. Of course. Of course that's why. Yeah, I think we're live. Yeah. So we've got a lot of great content to cover today. We really do. We have a lot of great content to cover. I got two great stories today. We've got Charles Hoskinson speaks with El Salvador's president about a stablecoin being issued on Cardano. So, a CNBC, as you'd say, a stablecoin, but a government stablecoin. So not as good as the algorithmic stablecoins, but a stablecoin nonetheless. And as you guys know, El Salvador was the first country to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender, and then also planned on buying some too, which is pretty crazy news. So let me read that article. We'll wait a little bit. I'll say hi to everybody. We'll say what's up, and then we'll go into the two articles we have today. We got to let everyone join in first, so make sure you guys don't click away. Make sure you guys click that like button if you're already here. Let's get the Cardano party started today. There's 73 people here, and we've only been going for 2 minutes. So I think today is going to be a kick-ass AMA. What do you think? What's up, Ira Bliss, Snowman, Lucky Chiem, Sergio? Hello from Italy. What's up, man? Dave? The sky is falling, and this mouse has lost a lot of cheddar. Yeah, the sky is falling, man. We'll take some time to talk about the bear market today. The cheddar that we're all losing. What's up, Lance? Hello from South Africa. Hello, man. Wish I could be in South Africa right now. Shroom Nikki. I own it. Shubs. Laurent. Boss. My balls have lumps. The gang is all here. Conrad. Kilo Crypto. I'm telling you guys, at the rate that everyone's joining and the OGs that are here thus far, this is going to be a great AMA. I'm telling you. Okay, so some quick podcast updates. All right, real quick, for everyone new that's joining in, make sure you click the like button first. The stream just started. This is my Cardano AMA. I do these every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I come on here, I come out with some Cardano news, usually within the past couple days, and then I answer your guys' questions. They can be anything about like how the protocol works at the base layer, or it can be, hey man, when are my staking rewards are going to come, or what pool should I choose, or any questions that you have anything about Cardano or cryptocurrency, ask them here on Mondays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we do have some great news to cover today, and the two articles is one, an exchange actually listed a Cardano native asset, and that's huge news. Very excited about that. And it really makes me very bullish on ADA in the short term and in the long term. Because as you guys know on Ethereum, right? On Ethereum, maybe you don't know this, but I'm going to explain it, very quickly for people that already know and, quickly for people that don't know as well. But for Ethereum, there's something called the ERC20 standard. And what that does is allows you to actually have other tokens on the same blockchain, right? So in your Ethereum wallet with the same address, it starts with OX, you can receive USDC, which is a US dollar stablecoin, or you can receive Ethereum, or you can receive wrapped Bitcoin, right? So that's what Ethereum offers. That's one of the biggest use cases is multiple tokens on the same blockchain and also token distribution for those entrepreneurs. Well, Cardano actually offers the same thing, and that is with Cardano native assets. And what that's called is the Cardano native asset standard. And what it means is it's essentially the rules, the protocol rules behind, what tokens can be created on this blockchain or what tokens can be ported over, to Cardano. And there are multiple companies actually right now working on an ERC20 bridge from Ethereum to Cardano, allowing you to bring over all of your ERC20 tokens. So, USDC, AGIX, SDAO, any of the other great tokens that you guys are interested in right now, you'll actually be able to move those over from Ethereum to Cardano. And this Cardano native token standard actually offers a lot of benefits over Ethereum. One is it's actually built into the base protocol layer to where you can actually mint tokens without smart contracts, which is different. It's different. In ERC20, you actually need to create a smart contract, for your token. And then one second. It's going to be a good AMA. I had to bring a lot of water for this one today. But what's up, Richard, Mario, Ada Cardano, Stream Nikki, G. Sean Walker? I'm happy you guys are all here. I'm so happy about it. It is a good day to pick up some cheap crypto, that's for sure. No financial advice. All right. So what we were talking about, Cardano native assets. So let's just jump right into the article today. And I only have one monitor because I was doing some crazy PC man stuff. Okay. So Bitrue to become the first exchange to list Cardano-based tokens. This is huge. And if you guys have ever bought Ethereum before, or bought USDC, or bought AGIX, when you go to withdraw it, it starts with OX. It's because you're withdrawing it onto the ERC20 standard, onto the Ethereum blockchain, right? Well, what's so important about this news today is this is a Cardano native token exchange listing. So you're not using an ERC20 token. You're not. What you're doing is this is actually integrated with the Cardano blockchain. So, when you go withdraw ADA, you obviously withdraw it to an ADDR1, or the old addresses, the old Yoroi was AE2, and then the dataless was DDDZ. The Cardano OGs know about that. But now all of the addresses start with ADDR1. That's the new standard. So what this actually means is you'll be able to withdraw your tokens from this exchange Bitrue to your Cardano address. And it's not just ADA. This is actually the first. I've heard some people mention that it's been listed elsewhere, but this is the big one. This is the first big one in my opinion. So Bitrue support for Cardano negative tokens is the next step in Cardano's progress. It's one step. It's not the next step. Bitrue, a multi-tool platform for trading, staking, and cryptocurrency exchange, is now the first platform to provide support for tokens on the Cardano blockchain. According to the Bitrue team, official announcement, the exchange will support Cardano-based tokens for the first time. And like I said, this is the first of many. First of many tokens, I swear. Bitrue will be the first exchange to support Cardano native assets. These tokens are built on the Cardano ADA chain, giving them the great scalability, flexibility, and the first OCC Occamfi support for the end of the month. So it was Occam, OCC. Occam is the first Cardano native token to ever be listed on Bitrue. What's next? The Bloom token? I'm just kidding. So Occamfi. How much you guys have to pay them? How much? Either way, I appreciate it. Getting Cardano native token support on Bitrue. And that was just a joke. I don't know that they had to pay them, but it's just a guess. The Bitrue team emphasizes that adopting Cardano-based assets eliminates any bottlenecks in terms of performance and smart contract availability. Bitrue writes, Cardano native assets represents a third-generation solution for asset tokenization on the blockchain. This is due to the unique design of Cardano as a multi-asset ledger where technical complexities to both issue minting, manage, and own a blockchain-based asset are greatly reduced. The multi-asset ledger is a cornerstone that enables Cardano to be a global financial operating system and serve as a platform for a multitude of business and applications to be integrated. Well, what else do we do after reading that other than click the fucking like button, ladies and gentlemen? It's what you got to do. Cardano native tokens can be used in a variety of use cases such as DeFi protocols and NFT markets. Governance projects are possible with the help of Cardano native tokens. So, what is so awesome about this news is this is just the first article of many about this very thing right here, about Cardano native tokens on exchanges. Eventually, we will be in a world, if you click that like button. Did you guys hear that? It's a little scary. If you click that like button, we will be in a world where Binance.us, Binance.com, Qcoin, all of the exchanges, Hotbit, if you want some Ergo, all of the exchanges you've ever heard of will actually allow you to withdraw in both ERC20 and Cardano native asset if the tokens are on both exchanges. Earlier we talked about these Cardano bridges. Occam's working on one, Card Starters. There's a bunch of people working on bridges. IOG's working on one. Another day, another bridge, as I like to say. And one of these bridges is going to be kick-ass. One of these bridges I am going to use to bring all of my USDC over from the Ethereum blockchain to the Cardano blockchain. And that is for a multitude of reasons, but one reason is because you click the like button. A second reason is because the low transaction fees on Cardano. It depends on the day. Sometimes Ethereum is pretty cool. Sometimes I can swap something for $5. But sometimes it takes $50 to swap something. Sometimes it takes $50 to provide liquidity. What's different about Cardano is the min, fee. The min fee in the UTXO is set, right? It goes up a little bit sometimes, but it never increases by 500%, 600%. So when I have my USDC and my Daedalus, your Roy wallet on my ledger, I know that if I need to get out of it or move or do anything, I can do that for a reasonable price consistently. Right. And in the future on Binance.com, right now, you can actually see it. If you go to withdrawal on Binance.com, there's a few different options for many of these currencies. For Ethereum, a lot of the Ethereum-based tokens, you can withdraw them onto Algorand, or you can withdraw them onto, the Binance Smart Chain. There are other currencies that are already doing this, but they're not Cardano. And eventually Cardano will be a third or fourth option for many of these withdrawals. And that is going to be huge for Cardano. It's going to be huge for, its user base because of the fees being as low as they are. It's also going to be huge for all of the DeFi contracts that are built on top of Cardano, because you're going to have access to both, ERC20 tokens as a reserve and both Cardano native tokens. So, the new Cardano stablecoin that IOG has been working on for a while now, they're going to have access to that, because all right, on Ethereum right now, you can actually take your stable coins and deposit them, and get a loan out them, or put your ADA in there and get a loan out on them. And, when you're getting the loan, you want it to be in a stable coin of some sort, right? So a lot of the time it's either DAI or USDC, but now not only are you going to have all of the great, ERC20 tokens on Cardano, you're also going to have the ability to use Cardano native assets that were built for Cardano that actually use Plutus smart contracts, so they're verifiably secure using the formal verification method that Cardano employs with Plutus and Haskell. It got from Haskell at least. And man, I have to say, I am excited about all of this. I'm excited for a world where we really are blockchain agnostic. Whatever blockchain that you believe in, you can withdraw those tokens from any of the blockchains into your wallet. And we all know why, we're here for Cardano, right? And now, we don't have to use other blockchains unless we want to, because there will be blockchains that offer better utility than Cardano in certain forms, right? And that's what's so awesome about Cardano is, we can move these tokens over to, these other blockchains that offer, say privacy. And then when we want to, interact with the only secure DeFi, protocol, we bring them right back over and we provide liquidity. What do you guys think? I'll read the chat for a second. We still have another story today. So make sure you guys don't leave today. I'm going to say hi to everybody real quick. Did you pressure cook that jar like that? This very large jar of water. It is. It's all I had. The dishwasher was full. What do you think about Cody? I don't know much about Cody, man. I don't know enough about him. Singularity DAO. I like Singularity DAO, man. Loving the energy today, Pay. Keep up the awesome work. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. I got some good sleep last night for the ladies and gentlemen today. I was born in San Salvador, but I live in the States now. Absolutely buying property over there. Hell yeah, man. Happy to hear that. And happy to hear that you're in a position to buy property from the States, man. That's awesome. I can't wait till the day where I can pick up some property. Cardano missed the boat. 2022, 2023 now? I don't think so, man. You never know what's going to happen. No financial advice here. Chad Carter says, hit that like button, people. He is correct. He is right. Can AGX be brought into Daedalus now? I thought that the reason they converted AGI to AGX. No, it cannot. So the reason they converted AGI to AGX was for the ability for them to bring over AGX to, Cardano tokens. But can you do that yet? No. But this month, they stated that there will actually be a test net for AGIX, for us to actually port this over on a test net. So I do see that coming within the next few months, Jake. It's a great question, though. It's a great question. Otlin says, ADA is on sale today. Time to buy. Hell yeah. No financial advice. Know anything about quant? I don't. I've heard Charles speak about it a couple of times. Okay. You should definitely give some research time to Cody then. Cheers. I find the project interesting and undervalued. I will, man. I will. If you can, come to my Discord down below. Come to my Discord down below and send me some links. Send me some stuff that I should look at. And then also, while all of you are there, we're giving away Bloom tokens. Every single week during these AMAs at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we actually give away Bloom tokens. That is a Cardano native token in your Yoroi or your Daedalus wallet. And there will be utility to Bloom tokens. There will be functionality. We're actually working on a white paper right now with some very juicy details that I can't disclose and I have yet to disclose. So if you guys want to get your hands first before anyone else on some Bloom tokens, all you have to do is join the Discord server. Fill out the CAPTCHA to make sure you're not a robot. Once you're done filling out the CAPTCHA, you go to the Bloom Tokens giveaway tab and react with a confetti symbol. And then some of you are probably saying right now, Pay, you didn't list it. Well, I just listed it while I was talking. It's crazy, right? It's crazy. I think there are probably about 40 or 50 winners of Bloom tokens right now. And also, while we're at it, before we go into Charles Hoskinson speaking with the El Salvadorian president, I should say. I should also mention Bloom, another way to earn Bloom tokens, and that is for delegating to Bloom Pool. There's actually 6 Bloom pools. There's Bloom through Bloom 6, and Bloom actually minted the 8th ever block on top of the Cardano blockchain. Very proud of that. So we've been here from the beginning, and we'll be here till your end because Cardano will live past all of us. So if you guys want to earn some Bloom tokens on top of your staking rewards and not in exchange for your ADA, just delegate to Bloom through Bloom 6. And many of you ask, when will these Bloom tokens be distributed into our Daedalus and Yoroi wallet? And that is as soon as we have smart contracts to ensure that this contract that we write is stable, is secure, and to make sure everyone is getting the right amount of rewards per the amount that they delegated, right? Because if we do this manually, it's going to be harder, it's going to be centralized, and it's could have mistakes. So we're going to wait for smart contracts to distribute all those tokens while also giving you guys the incentive up front. Anthony also mentioned another great thing. We're hiring here at Bloom. We're trying to expand. We're trying to add more value to the Cardano blockchain, and we need you to do that. We're looking for Plutus developers, Haskell developers. We're also looking for video editors that know motion graphics. We're looking for people that know Photoshop. If you're kick-ass and you want to add value to Cardano and also add value to Bloom, feel free to email me at peyton@bloompool.io or Anthony@bloompool.io. Both of us will see it, but I'd appreciate that. Hi, Pay. Are your videos on creating ADA pool still accurate information at this point in time? Could one use it to help guide? No. They're a little outdated, man. They're about a year outdated. Since then, people have added, really the difference is libsodium. The Linux guide is good, but man, I think there are way better guides out there now, for sure. Chrome Cashew is good. Cardano Stakepool School is good. I think Stakepool 247 also made another guide that's good. So check all of those out. But let's jump into the last article for today because I know that's what you guys are all excited for. So, El Salvador. All right. El Salvador may issue its own stablecoin report. And then it's funny, he looks much more thugged out, since he released the Bitcoin news. When he was wearing a suit, he was all nice, but now he's got a polo hat on backwards with some shades. Dude, ever since that Bitcoin news, El Salvador president's been living different. So the El Salvador government has planned, and I should also say that this is speculative. No financial advice here. Don't make investment terms or decisions based on a YouTube video. If you do, you're a big weenie. This is very speculative. The chances of this happening are slim, but the chance is still there. So it warrants a discussion. The El Salvador government has plans to launch a native cryptocurrency consumers will be able to use for services. Latin America digital newspaper El Faro reported Friday night. Ibrahim and Yusuf Bukele, the brothers of the country's president, told prospective investors the cryptocurrency, which is currently referenced as the Colin dollar, would be introduced by the end of 2021, according to the report, who cited video recordings of the brother discussing the proposal with these investors. So video recordings cited. The brothers say they represented the president, according to the report, which was also based on documents Alfaro has obtained. The news comes weeks after the Central American country's government overwhelmingly approved the president's Bitcoin law that we mentioned earlier, which will treat the original cryptocurrency as legal tender and require all businesses to accept it as payment for goods and services by September. A spokesperson for the El Salvador government told Alfaro that the plan was discarded, but the newspaper, citing an unidentified source, said the plans are currently on track. So that's why I say, who knows? They say it's discarded, but, and then here's the kicker right here. Let's zoom in. Can we get up to 500%? Okay, too big. All right, 300%. The president's brothers reportedly met with representatives from Cardano, WizGrid, and Algorand at different times, according to the newspaper. And then, to tie this story all together, if we come to Twitter and we type in our boy, he's the first one up. Yeah, look at that. Look at that group right there. Ooh. Shout out to Kyle, man. Jet chickens. Hell yeah. All right, so if we scroll down, Charles recently released a picture of a new stablecoin called Djed stablecoin. It's an algorithmically pegged stablecoin. Well, if you think about El Salvador right now, they're using Bitcoin as legal tender, right? So they're obviously, not relying on their currency as a store of value. So if they're speaking to representatives about, creating a stablecoin for their country, and while at the same time this article was released, Charles wrote, Djed, a formally verified crypto-backed pegged algorithmic stablecoin. So if El Salvador is already using Bitcoin as legal tender, they're already blockchain friendly. Do you think they're going to be using a stablecoin that's backed by something, or are they going to be using a algorithmically pegged stablecoin? And now let's think even further down this rabbit hole, this thought loop. Who in the business actually has a programming language that can be formally verified and that also has the research that they've been working on for a long time to prove that the stablecoin can be algorithmically verified? Charles Hoskinson. Who else? Shot in the dark, but I'm curious on your guys' thoughts. Had to report that story to you guys today. Very interesting news. It's a great day. Markets are bad, but it doesn't matter. So we'll get to some questions. If you guys have any questions about any of that, I would love to hear your thoughts. I would love to hear your thoughts on, the stablecoin, if Charles has anything to do with it, if this stablecoin is going to be on Cardano, because it would be very cool to see a government algorithmically backed stablecoin on top of the Cardano blockchain that's done by IOG. That would be awesome to see. But there's 240 people here. Thank you guys all for tuning in today, man. It means the world. We have not had 240 people here, and I want to say at least 2 or 3 months. So thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to tune in to the Cardano AMA. If you guys are enjoying it so far, feel free to subscribe, click the like button. You don't have to though, But what I do after, the initial news part is I talk about Cardano. I answer you guys' Cardano questions. I answer you guys' cryptocurrency questions. That's why it's an Ask Me Anything. I got some great news as far as the podcast. That is the Cardano Aura. So I'm going to be pumping out a lot more Cardano Auras. It's going to be one a week minimum, but sometimes there's going to be 2. And I reached out to John O'Connor. So hopefully John O'Connor replies and we'll get, hey, yeah, I'll come on the podcast, because that, and also Roman, the CTO at IOG, I'm going to reach out to him as well. So the Perspective podcast right now are Roman, CTO of IOG, John O'Connor, the director of African operations for IOG. He is, love to have him on. Very inspiring, and he would inspire me and probably everyone else watching this today. And then also, the third prospect for the podcast has been confirmed. It's Crypto Capital Venture. Ladies and gentlemen, Dan from Crypto Capital Venture. Very excited to have him on. We are in a very interesting time in Cardano and also in the markets and in the world. It's hard to put a good, point on what the price should be or what, value anything should be right now. The last year the government printed, $6 to $7 trillion. They've already printed trillions of dollars this year. So obviously things are inflating. Obviously there's some supply shortage issues going on right now. The markets are crazy because the Delta 8 variant. And you might say, oh, Pay, why do you care about all this? You're not a price channel. You're not, right? Well, I am operating a business on top of Cardano. And my expenses have to be relative to the price. And I think many of you are also interested in knowing, if you don't already, basic TA on getting a probability on where things are going. So we're going to try to have Dan on next week if he's available. He said he would come on. I don't know his availability. We're going to work that out. But he's just going to give us a general, TA analysis on what the hell's happening right now macroeconomically and also with Cardano relative to Goguen coming out and kind of get his opinion on, probability either way. And also I want to just learn more about him and also get his perspective on Cardano and on cryptocurrency, the cryptocurrency space as a whole, because think about it. He does 10 to 20 minute videos every day and you do get a good of his opinion, but, I feel like a different style of person comes out from the long form interview, so looking forward to that. Djed is pronounced Djed. Is it? Maybe we should ask Google. Maybe we should ask Google. Let's figure it out. I'm going to get copyrighted straight. What am I doing? What am I doing? I just was trying to learn about the English language. All right. Back to the comments. Okay. Great show. Hey, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. I'm going to miss the days when ADA was cheap and the future of Cardano was bright, because one of these days Cardano will be at the top. You're right, man. I was thinking about that the other day. And man. Consider interviewing Ken Oling from Mel DeFi. All right, man. I'll interview him. I need to. Cool guest list. Hope they all accept. Yeah, me too, man. So we'll add Mel as the fourth one. I also want the NFT maker guy, NFTmaker.io. Want him to come on for sure. So now we got John O'Connor, Dan, NFT maker. I already forgot half of them. Pay, if an older person with some natural computing aptitude wanted to learn basic blockchain dev, where would you have them start? Thanks. That's a very good question, Aunt Lynn. Honestly, for me, this is obviously a biased opinion, but a good place to start learning blockchain development would be right here, on Cardano, because we're watching Cardano evolve from a basic blockchain with basic functionality, sending transactions back and forth to the Shelley update. What the Shelley update did was it introduced, staking, which is a more complicated feature. So you're learning about staking. And then slowly, as Cardano rolls out new features, you learn more and more about blockchain and how it all comes together, and also how it ties into, normal developing. So what I would do if I were you is set up a Cardano node. And to do that, I would just look up, Cardano Stakepool guide and set up a relay node first and look at how submitting transactions work, setting up a node, because at the base layer, it's really just, network infrastructure, right? You have nodes, and the nodes are connected in a network, and they all follow a protocol. All of the development comes on top of that, comes afterwards, because the development, Plutus smart contracts, you're going to be writing these contracts and then submitting it to the node, for a transaction, because that's all blockchains are blocks. And then the blocks have data, and then the data is transactions. So everything at the end of the day comes down to a transaction, so you're running a smart contract, which is a transaction. You're submitting metadata to the chain to vote, which is a transaction. So learn how the transaction mechanisms work, learn how the nodes work, and I think you'll be well on your way. Should I delete my Byron wallet now that all of my ADA is in my Shelley wallet? Yeah, I'd go for it, man. But it doesn't hurt to keep that passphrase written down somewhere. I keep everything. So Djed or Djed, I couldn't figure it out because I did want to get copy. Can you take questions for Ken? Yes, I can. I always ask the day before. Impawa is coming on tomorrow. I forgot one that was coming on tomorrow. So if you guys have any questions for Impawa, make sure you reply to this tweet right here. I always do this on my Twitter the day before. So if you guys want to hear your questions asked on, the Cardano Aura, just follow my Twitter, turn on notifications, and I answer or I ask most of the questions. So. I think I skipped. Okay, yeah, I always keep all of my stuff written down. And then, yeah, I don't think I skipped anything. Alonzo White, any news? No news other than the video that I posted on Friday. That's the latest news I got for you. I'll probably have some more for you later this week in my weekly recap. So subscribe, click the notification bell if you don't want to miss it. What would you say the 3 most promising DeFi projects on Cardano you have come across so far? So we're in a very weird time in Cardano where all of these new projects that are coming are, they're not made yet. They're all still trying out Plutus for the first time. They haven't built anything yet. So this is subject to change very quickly and subject to change much faster than, say, 6 months from now when there already are DeFi projects out there. But I would say the 3 most promising, Sunday Swap is very promising to me now. Very promising. Liquid, obviously promising. They're going for the fair token launch. They're not taking funding from anybody. They're going through the project catalyst route, which is, the keep your nose clean on Cardano, I like to call it, because, they're not sniffing any of the VC funding. They're not sniffing any of the token sale funding. They're just sniffing from Catalyst, a nice, just a little uptake inhibitor, But okay, so yeah, Liquid. And the third one, I would say, I don't know. The third one, it's tough. It's tough. I like Estau, I like Estau a lot. ErgoDex seems pretty cool, but, Liquid was just talking shit about ErgoDex, so we'll see what comes out of that. World Mobile Token is not DeFi. I mean, in a way it is. It's decentralized finance, but it's not. It's not what I think of when I think of DeFi, but World Mobile is definitely, if it was just Cardano projects in general, World Mobile is number 3 on that list, I would say. Djed is the god of the underworld. What an occult name to choose. I agree, man. Will Tether collapse now? I don't know. We've been saying that for years, and they finally just released that. Only 3% of the total value is what they hold. So let's say there's 100 million, Tether in existence. Well, they only have the value of 3% of that. Last time I checked, and that's nuts. That's nuts. Pay, do you have a favorite promising CNFT series? With things like Claybuds selling out in minutes, I can't help but dream my nitties will be worth thousands one day. Gambling on some art, are you? Claybuds was really cool. Claybuds is really cool, and shout out to whoever made Claybuds, and also shout out to Spacebuds. I really liked the intro. The intro. We can watch that real quick. It just reminded me of is it Claybuds with a Z? Or it's probably Clay Mates. And then yeah. It just reminded me of like some 2000s style, like, I don't know, like comedy, like Cartoon Network stuff. So, and maybe this is even like, taken from something else that I don't know about, but I don't know. I saw that and I was like, damn, this is going to be cool. This is going to be cool. So yeah, I do like Claymates. Another one that I was looking at today that someone sent me was Cardano Warriors, which I thought was pretty cool. And it's actually a game, and I'm going to have them on the podcast as well. But, you come to the site and look, it's a game. And, the NFTs are the characters, in this game. And this is just a little demo. And it's going slow right now because I'm mining while I'm live streaming. I'm such a madman. But it's just a little game. where you can walk around and you can find the white paper, you can talk to a few people, but it's not all the way done yet and it's not close to being done, but they're using a cool way to fund the project to build a real game, using Cardano NFTs. Very cool, very cool. Yep, Charles correctly pronounced it Djed, which means stable in Egyptian, an ancient Egyptian. Is there a good complete resource out there which teaches all of that you're talking about? No. That's just me and a few other people. That's kind of the issue about Cardano. And that's why content creators can actually do well, is because there's so much information, it comes out so quickly that you kind of have to have someone, sort through it and then take in the information from a few different people. What about Indy for synthetic assets? Indigo. I do like the token name Indy, and yeah, I would like to have the the head guy over there on the podcast as well. I reached out to them, but I never followed up, so I'd like to have them on as well. Synthetic assets is something I've never heard of, and it's very interesting. What do you think about Nami, the wallet Alessandro made? Opinions? Safe? Perhaps it's even better with multi-delegation? So I haven't looked into it yet. But I'm happy to see that other people are making wallets. And then the second question is it safe? I don't know. I haven't looked into it yet. It is a new wallet, so obviously a new wallet, just from the time aspect, is going to be less safe than Daedalus Uroi, right? But I'm always happy to see people, building wallets or building anything and adding value to Cardano. So where would you look for that sort of info to sort through? That's a much better question. So firstly, and it's not going to be as good as you think. Firstly, Charles's AMAs, right? That's where you get the bulk of your information about Cardano. Charles's AMAs. And then also the Cardano 360s. They do them every month. They're like 3 hours long. Watch all of those twice. They do the mid-month recaps. I get a lot of good information from there. Also just interviews from other people. So Cardano Live, any podcast that has someone else that's working in the space, that's long form, is where I learn the most. So where have I really learned the most about Cardano? It's from my own podcast. It's from speaking with other people, because I've had Sebastian on, I've had Liquid on, and they're all just smart as hell. And I get to ask the questions that I want to know. So really long form podcasts, Charles's AMAs, the Cardano 360s, other YouTube channels, Kaizen, Cardano Live, Cardano with Paul, Dan. That's where I've gotten the bulk of my information. And then as far as like actual development stuff, they actually did just build a Cardano developer portal, and it's well done. It's well done. It's by the Cardano Foundation. It has a lot of good information in it. You'll probably be able to get a relay node set up just from that site. I just sent it in the chat for you. That's a pretty good page. And the reason I didn't say that first is because it just came out. Is there a timeline for the announcement regarding the Bloom token utility? Yeah, I would say probably halfway through next month we'll release a white paper, and that's just a rough guesstimate. So say like the 16th of August, maybe a little later, maybe a little bit sooner. And as far as like the actual utility release, at minimum we're gonna have to wait for Goguen. And Aunt Lynn was right. She said there's 197 people watching and only 170 likes. What's wrong with you kids? Hit that like button. Don't make Aunt Lynn come after you. She's right. What's your view on Elon manipulating with tweets? I don't know. It just really shows you how fragile the markets are, that one man's opinion can, move the whole system. But it really makes sense. I would tell my buddies last year, I used to do jiu-jitsu with my buddy named Joss. Jiu-jitsu. Can't speak today. And I would tell him I was the crazy crypto guy you guys always hear about. I'm like, Josh, trust me. This was 2020. This was right after COVID opened things back up. So I would say July. And I'm like, Josh, trust me. Cardano staking, it's coming next month. Cardano's going to kill it. It's going to be, it's going to be the shit. And I was like, in the whole use case for crypto, and this is why you can manipulate the market so much, and it's really sad. I was like, watch, people and companies and institutions and then governments are going to be looking for a store of value to hide themselves away from this government inflation. The government's printed trillions of dollars. It was $6 trillion at this point. And I was like, watch, there's a lot of smart people that own these companies. And I was like, and guess who's going to be the first one? It's going to be Elon Musk. Elon Musk is going to take a portion of Tesla's reserves and he's going to purchase, a percentage of Bitcoin, and it's going to rally the whole market, And I told him this, and that's exactly what happened. And the markets really got their big, oomph from him, being the first guy to buy Bitcoin as a store of value. So if he decided to sell it, or he decided that it wasn't green enough, or his corporate, woke rating wasn't enough because of his Bitcoin purchase and his board forced him to sell it, that's inherently going to be bad for Bitcoin, because the first institution that at a large scale, that does very, very well, a Fortune 500 company or whatever, whatever the top 500 are. I think it's Fortune 500. I'm a weenie. They purchased it, and then 3 months later they sold it. Or 3 months later they came out and said that it's not environmentally friendly, or that we're going to stop accepting it for our cars. So what are my thoughts on it? I mean, it was kind of inevitable, wasn't it? It was kind of inevitable. In my opinion, when one person raises the market so much, then they can just as easily, lower it back down. A good example of that is, the 420 tweets. He says, oh, the stock's too high, or, oh, I'm going to go, Tesla's going to go private, or at 420 or whatever. It's like, of course. When will we be able to buy a Cryptkeeper? You can actually get one right now. If you go to cryptkeeperwallet.com and you use coupon code BIGPAY, I think you either get $5 off. I think it's $5 off is what it is for it. But there's that for you. And we give those away every month, or every AMA, or not every AMA, every weekly recap. We give one of those away from now on. So Bloom token giveaways on Mondays. And then for the weekly recap, we're going to be giving away a real life Cryptkeeper. And if you guys want to know what one of those are, this is what they look like. This is where I store my funds. I store it all on Trezor or Ledger, and then, you punch holes into this metal right here, right? I'll give it some time to focus. Once you punch the holes in this metal, you're good to go. Then, a fire burns your house down. You're looking through that rubble for your Cryptkeeper with a Bloom logo, or a Trezor logo, or a Yoroi logo, or a Daedalus logo, whatever you prefer. You do need a hardware wallet, for sure. Hey, where do you get your shirts from? This is from Zoomies. This is like a 3-year-old shirt from Zoomies, and they don't make them like this no more, unfortunately. All of the fashion, like 3 years ago, I really enjoyed all of the fashion they had at stores, but now it all sucks. I wear the same clothes I've worn for 3 years because everything at the store sucks. Looking good as always, Pay. Hey, thank you, man. It's very kind of you. Thanks for the weekly updates. No problem, man. No problem. Yeah, we're getting an office. Bloom is. We're getting an office, and I think that's going to be very good for my brain. I'm sure many of you do this, but I'm very ADHD. I just have a brain, ridden with ADHD. And I think being able to get out of the house and actually have a routine and it be somewhere else that isn't 5 feet away from my bed is going to do wonders for my brain, my productivity, and my happiness. And man, am I excited. I'm excited. Can Cardano surpass Ethereum's price in 5 years? Yes. Yes, it can. It's very possible. At question, how do you see the usage of ADA in the era of smart contracts? Are we just keeping ADA staked or earning rewards for the sake of security of network? All right, so it's tricky. So there's going to be a lot of use cases for ADA in smart contracts. My lips are dry. Drink some more agua. And the basic thing that comes to mind is liquidity, right? You go to Uniswap right now, and they have a swap protocol that's 50-50. So if you want your coin to be traded on there, like a good example is Bloom token. Let's say we want Bloom token to be traded on Uniswap, but instead of ETH, the main coin's ADA, right? So for me to have people have the ability to trade ADA for Bloom tokens, then someone has to be there providing liquidity to 2 liquidity pools to allow anyone to come and buy either of these tokens. So in the 50-50 model, you need both ADA and the other token for it to work. You have to provide liquidity on both of them. So at the most basic, swap, as simple as it gets, that's where a lot of ADA is going to be. ADA can trade with Bloom token. ADA can trade with Occam. ADA can trade with Wrapped Ether. ADA can trade with AGIX. ADA can trade with whatever. There's going to be ADA trading pairs all across the board on multiple different swap protocols because ADA is really the native token on Cardano. We have the native token standard where any token has the same ability as ADA, but what holds the most value in this system is ADA. There are no Babel fees. You can't pay your fees yet with Bloom tokens, right? So ADA is going to be one of the main trading pairs on all of these sites, and then once we have the Djed, there I said it right for you, the Djed stablecoin, then that'll also be a lot of them. Or once we get USDC or another form of USDC, that's also going to be a trading pair for a lot of them. You go to Uniswap right now and you can see kind of where, we're going to follow a similar pattern. Let me pull it up. They have the main coins that people trade, and ADA will be the main coin of the SDAO. SDAO is a good coin. What's your opinion on Chainlink? I don't know enough about it, honestly. This is another good thing about having an office, is I'll have a separate computer for the important shit. Do you think it's a good idea to put your crypto logo on your CryptKeeper wallet in case someone finds it? I'm sure that, so he's also making Bloom ones. So you could also put a Bloom one on there. I bet there could be a blacked out version of these two, but they really do look nice with all of the engravings. John James Power says it's okay. It's okay. Thanks, buddy. You just watched your man's die live. Nathan said, it really does. We just got our podcast studio / office set up a couple months ago, and it's been great for productivity. You guys are talking shit about my jar, but you realize that I've killed half of this, right, in this stream. So it was useful. But let's keep the questions coming. We got about 10 minutes left. 10 minutes left in this AMA on this grand day. Antwin says, stay hydrated, Pay. It's a dry, dusty world out there. For sure. For sure. Any rewards for people staking with Bloom? Yes. For staking with Bloom, you actually earn Bloom tokens on top of your ADA rewards, and those are paid out through smart contracts once Goguen launches. So, but we're not getting any questions other than price questions. Oh yeah, today is payday for Bloom delegates. Hell yeah. Is this bull run over? I would say, in my opinion, that is not financial advice. No. Why no lights in the room? It makes the lighting look better. Can we get Bloom today? Yes. Yes. There are about 50 individuals with Bloom right now. Are they paid retroactively? Yes, they are. So if you start delegating today, then you are paid that. How many colors of Alfonso are there? Let me look at that. I bet I can find that out for you. I love that Cardano is so mainstream now that I can just type shit in on Google and it comes up. Like we've entered easy mode. So we have Alonzo Blue, Alonzo White, Alonzo Purple, Alonzo Red, Alonzo Black, and then Alonzo Mainnet. So really we're in white right now, and purple is coming very soon, or probably next month, early next month. So I would say we're probably a week or two behind right now, unless white speeds up, of course. And then after that, we have Alonzo Red and Alonzo Black. But those are at the same time. So really, purple is the big one. And these are really just, final testing. So, and the staging for exchanges as well. You guys like that thumbnail today? It doubled the viewers, so got to play that heckin' YouTube game. Yo, what's up, Rand? How are you doing today, man? Matthew, don't oust me, bro. What's the possible price? Okay, I'm wondering if I should pull out and put into Cardano. No financial advice here, man. The best way to get into Cardano, in my opinion, and this could be wrong, you never know if today's the best day or tomorrow or last week. But the way that I've got in, and most of the other successful individuals got in, was buying a set amount consistently over time, because you never know, when the price is going to go up, and you never know when it's going to go down. If you watch it for a while, you can start to figure out what a good low price is. But when you're just starting out, the only way for you to find that is to just buy some, maybe lose a little bit of money, or maybe make a little bit of money, and then just buy again, What's your opinion on precious metals? Man, you're asking the wrong guy. A few years ago, I was always interested in them because I've always been the kind of guy that's like, I feel like there should be a different value structure other than the government. But in my opinion, even Bitcoin, with how slow it is and how expensive it is still much faster and much more transferable and much easier to not be stolen from you than gold. So I've never really been interested in precious metals because of cryptocurrency and all of the value that offers, and the utility now that Ethereum offers, and the utility now that Cardano offers and will offer in the future, right? Precious metals definitely do have their utility, and I bet you could make money off of them. But why I, at this age, invest in something that I don't really know enough about when I work full-time in cryptocurrency? I wake up, I read about crypto. I go to bed, I read about crypto. So it's very important for me to not diversify my investments into something that I don't really understand, when the thing that I believe in, I feel has a better exponential increase over the next 10 years, relative to precious metals. Just out here getting some work done. Hopefully this market can find some ground. I don't know if we will, man. I don't know if we will. Who knows? We may go touch 80 cents. I'll be buying. I'll be buying. When will you be interviewing MinSwap? Anytime soon? I do have my hands full. I will interview them though. I promise. I want to have them on. They changed their funding method though. They were going for the fair token, and then they switched to the ISO model. But it's an interesting ISPO model. I think you have to have under 2 million staked, which is pretty interesting. Do you think the WMT is going to survive in this market? What are your thoughts on WMT? I like WMT, man. As far as is it going to survive? I don't know. I don't know. If I were in a different country, I personally would have bought some. But it's just my opinion without financial advice. A lot of questions coming in now. I just had to hype you guys up. Zaza said, late as ever, start at 0. When you read this, I'll see you in an hour. Hell yeah, man. Thanks for staying the whole time. I appreciate you. Are we an hour? No, we're 56. I like WMT. I do. Hey, Pay, I'm thinking about learning to program. Which language is best to start? Think about languages as tools, man. What do you want to accomplish? You know, that really determines if you're trying to accomplish to get a job or make some income, then I would look up, you know, what is the best, or in your area, the best language to learn to get a job. So that to me, that means probably JavaScript or Node.js, or maybe your intention is to build on Cardano, then it'd be Plutus or Haskell, you know, or just basic Linux to be a node operator, you know. So it really depends on your goal. Just like blockchains. You know, blockchains are tools. Programming languages are tools. What blockchain should you use depends on, you know, what you're trying to accomplish, at least in my opinion. Pay, you should diversify into some index funds. Like, I hope you're, dude, I'm about 90-something% in crypto. I am. Probably more, like 95%. It's a hard life, Matthew. It's a hard life. We are big fans of World Mobile here. I'm irresponsibly long on crypto. Pay, do you know anything about the FIRE community, the Financial Independence Retire Early? I think the community would suit you. I don't know anything about them. Is it a good group? The first thing that comes to mind when I see the Independence Retire Early is all of those pump and dump groups we get invited for now. There's like a new type of investor, you know, in cryptocurrency and also in the stock market, where it's like it's their first time ever buying a stock or their first time ever buying a crypto or Doge or whatever. And like, oh, I'm going to make a bunch of money. So there's these groups that are set up now to where you have to pay like $300 to get in, and you got to invite some of your buddies in as well. So it's like a multi-level, you know, buying pump and dump. Like I've seen multiple of them, and some of my buddies have gotten in on them. And that's kind of what that makes me think of. And also, like, the way that I look at it, and like I said, irresponsibly long on crypto, like no financial advice, but I was fortunate enough to get in at 3 cents. So if we go down to 10 cents, I'm still up 3x. If we go down to 20 cents, I mean, that's 6, more than 6, 7, 8. You know, I'll be fine either way. I'll still be here making videos. I just hope that you guys show up, you know? I just hope that you guys show up, because this is what I enjoy doing, you know? These AMAs and making videos and growing my company and trying to provide value back to Cardano is what I enjoy doing, you know? So don't worry about me. If all crypto goes to 0, then yeah, I'm not going to be in the best place, you know, but I mean, what are the odds of that happening, you know? We can get a big dip, but we can touch 20 cents, and I won't have to get a job, you know, at McDonald's. I won't. I try to take care of myself. Try my best, at least. Do you think it is a good idea to invest in Akamfi? So, I will never tell you if it's a good idea to invest in anything because we don't offer financial advice on this channel. But one thing I do have to say about all of these, projects that are building on Cardano is, 90% of them will fail. We saw the same thing with the ICO days. 90% of the projects failed. Does that mean Occam will fail? No. Occam has done a lot. We talked about Occam earlier in this video. It seems like every other week, Occam is coming out with some pretty interesting news, or they're launching an interesting product. As far as the launch pads go, Occam is the launch pad on Cardano. But do I invest in any launch pads? No, I don't. I don't invest in any launch pads. And maybe that's I have, like I said earlier, to me, the keeping your nose clean way of funding a project that Cardano offers is the best, in my opinion. Because think about it. You're not sniffing the VC funds. You're not sniffing the ICO funds. You're only sniffing, the Project Catalyst, funds, which is voted for and curated by the community. And this is one of the only blockchains where you can do that with the amount of value we have. I'm sure there's another blockchain that does it, Leono says, what's your take on Hex? I don't know, man. Join the Discord server down below and send me some links in the general chat. All of you guys, make sure you join that Discord server down below. We have a lot of great discussions in there. Any questions you guys have, we make sure we get them answered. We're growing a nice little community over there to where even if I'm offline, I'm taking a nice walk on the beach or doing something at the gym, someone will be there to answer your question promptly. And thank you to everyone that does sit in there and answer questions. My goal now with this channel is to push education and adoption of Cardano. It kind of always has been, but more so now than ever. And the Discord channel is the best way to do that. And I could use your help if you have time. Hey, Pay, give us a hint about the usage of the Bloom token. Is it going to be a desirable project? And if yes, in what sector of Cardano's ecosystem? Please share. I can't really tell you what part of the ecosystem it's going to be in because it gives it away. Let's just say that, in my opinion, it's very desirable. And when we do release the white paper and what we're going to do, and in the timeline that we're going to do it, it's going to be a mic drop moment for stake pools in general on Cardano, right? So we're just going to take the staking thing and run with it. That's all I'm going to say. Let me think about what I just said. Okay, that was all good. That was all checked and cleared. Wasn't bad. Gave a little bit more, but not too much. I do want it to be a mic drop moment for everyone except for you guys, of course. So this is a great question from Matthew. Do you get bummed out on bear markets like now, or are you numb to it? Same thing as earlier, man. I'm fortunate enough to, when I was very young, I'll just say it, I was 18 years old or 17 years old, about to be 18. And I watched Cardano fall from $1.25 to 3 cents. And before that, I actually bought Cardano for the first time at 9 cents. So my first ever Cardano purchase was at 9 cents. Sorry about that. And at 9 cents, I watched it go from, nothing all the way to $1.25. And at the time, I was working for $8.25 an hour at Tropical Smoothie. And, it would take me, weeks, a month to save up like $100 or $200, And I just DCA'd in. Every paycheck, I'd throw $50 in, $50 at 5 cents, 10 cents, 9 cents, not 5, 9, 15, 20, 9, 15, 20, and I just followed it all the way up to $1.25. And I had like 10 grand. And for me at the time, that was a crazy amount of money. I didn't grow up around a lot of wealthy people. 10 grand that I had in my wallet was more money than anyone that really had around me. And I felt like the man at 17 years old. I'm like, I got money now. My life's changed. And I watched, and I sold a little bit. I sold like $2,000. And I built a computer. The computer I'm using now, I built with that $2,000. And I watched the $8,000 that was left go all the way from $8,000 down to like $400. Like it's just some like low amount of money. You know, I watched it touch. I was awake when ADA touched 2 cents. You know, it was only for a second. I only saw it happen one time. And watching that value go all the way down to that, and then where we are now, you know, where I watched it go down and touch that again. And now this time, you know, I prepared for it. I built a business. I worked even more. I saved up more money. You know, so considering most of my purchases, and I also have a business on Cardano, most of my purchases were less than 8 cents. You know, I don't get worried about bear markets, but I'm not going to be the asshole that comes on here and says, oh, the price doesn't matter at all. No, it's like, dude, if you bought at $1.50 and you put a sizable chunk in and you're down to $1.15, that matters, man. It matters for you. It shouldn't matter for your family, though. You know, when you invest in something, you should never invest more than you're willing to lose. And sometimes you have to invest more than you could lose to learn that, you know. And I was just fortunate enough to, at such a young age, watch a real bull market and a real bear market in a short amount of time, and then watch the 3-year-long bear market that we had before we came here. And that's where I got the, oh, who cares about price? Because I was buying it at 3 cents. You know, who cares if we touch 2 cents? Because this is either going to go and change the world and be everything, or it's going to go to zero. You know, and I'm going to try my best to make sure that it doesn't go to zero and that it does have an impact on the world and that it does at least change the cryptocurrency space with peer-reviewed papers and formal verified language and actually add some legitimacy to cryptocurrency. You know, I'm going to try my best to ensure that that happens. But if it doesn't and it all goes to zero, then that's that, you know, and that is a fortunate place to be sitting from, you know. So I'm not the guy to ask when it comes to like, oh, are you worried about bear markets? I'm not, you know. I'm definitely making a lot more money at 240 than I am at $1.16. But does that have a meaningful impact on my life? No. Does it have a meaningful impact on my company? Yes. If our expenses were that high, you know, but this all happened so quickly that our expenses have not reached that point yet. And, you know, when we do hire people and get offices, you know, we're keeping in mind the worst scenario because these markets are nuts. We live in a macro environment in the world that is completely nuts, right? So I don't worry about bear markets, but saying that, I'm not so naive to think that, you know, we couldn't touch 40 cents again, you know? So. Close it out on that. Hour and 8 minutes. It was a good one. I was in a good mood today. Damn good mood. Going to have a podcast coming Wednesday with Empower. We're also going to have a weekly recap uploaded on Friday. I'm going to try to have Dan on Tuesday next week. Of course, the Monday AMA is at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you made it here, that means you're the shit. And you got to click that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. But I appreciate all of you. This was the biggest one we've had in a while. And it doesn't matter, but it's cool to have so many people in here asking questions because, you know, the more the merrier. And also you get kind of a difference, you know. Celsius is going to accept ADA as collateral. Dude, I honestly think that we're heading towards a time to where, you know, you're not withdrawing ERC20 tokens anymore. You're going to be withdrawing Cardano native assets from Celsius, from Nexo, from Binance. And it's going to be pretty sick. It's going to be pretty sick. But love you guys. Hope you have a good rest of your week. I'll do my little shimmy so I know we're all caught up and I can log off.